Right, you asked for it, and here it goes. This is the book Cosmographia Petri Appiani per hmmm. I have no idea what this is. I'm thinking it's some kind of Latin or something. Parisius D. Martini. Don't mind if I do. What interesting layout for the zodiac here. Seems this book is about the sphere, the globe, the orb, the orbitus. I think it calls it the primum, the prime, Optimus Prime. Yeah, so this is a description of a quadrant of the Earth: Europe, Asia, Africa, America, Peru, so South America. Let's not postpone it. Let's get to the goods. There's one picture right before the goods that's pretty good too. But as you can see, this is a book on the cosmographia, which is the cosmos, I'm assuming, the stars, and the earth, and the sun, and the climate. And the geography. Demonstrate. It's their attempt to show some. I think this is more like radius. Stellarum, the stars, the stellar. Yeah. Yeah, the total cosmograph description or demonstrator. Describing the demonstration of how to see the stars and know where they are when you're over here and you shouldn't be able to see them. You got this bright-eyed fellow here with a sloppy eyelid and a huge pupil. Prima para cosmos. The most important part of the stars, maybe, I don't know. Geographic definition. Okay, so here it is. This is, I don't know, maybe somebody's already posted something on this. I'm not sure. The link for the book is going to be in the description. Amir Ocean. Okay, so Geographia, Elves Similitudo. Elus? Elus? Elohim? Pictura einem seu picture imitatio. Ordinem. Situm. A memoriam facsimile. I don't know. Maybe this is a drawing from information from some memories, not something someone encountered or someone encountered. But you can clearly see right here, if you look at the nose bridge, it's obviously the artist that drew this has a knack for dimension. You can see right here, he knows kind of what he's doing. This ear, I don't know. Looks like an elf ear. Why are they mentioning the ear even? I don't know. This could be like some kind of introductory fairy tale story. I don't know. I've read lots of mathematics, physics, and philosophy books, and I find a lot of them seem to start off kind of with a little bit of a story. So it's quite possible this is a story. However, I've never seen a story with images and depictions of see, it's talking about the eye here. But why does it say chorographia? I guess that's the... Maybe this encompasses several aspects like the topography and the demographics and other things in the chorographia. Turris. Yeah, so if somebody knows or recognizes the language, we can get some kind of... I'm gonna attempt to... I've typed it into Google, some of the words, and I went through every single language trying to find a translation, and it just wouldn't do it. Maybe I wasn't correctly putting in all the little details. And then the book goes on to start into, I guess, an explanation of the different elements and stuff. Like, here you have Ethereum, Elementaris, Alterations, Quatuor Elementa, the 4 elements of earth, water, air, and fire, ignem. Etheria. Yeah, this is the philosophy on... Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read this along. See, right here even it mentions the firmament too, I guess, is a part of whatever this belief system is that they're explaining here. Or maybe this is explaining where all of this came from. So it's lining out all of the philosophical aspects. So, moving on. This is another interesting part of the book where it appears to show Earth and then a barrier, right? And it looks like this electrical, or even maybe a snake slithering pattern kind of in this area, and then a second layer of ozone or barrier, which is odd because then it goes on to say that the firmament layer is actually out here in the eighth ring. The 8th ring outside. Okay, so the moon would be the first, so 8 out from the moon. Okay. Also pretty interesting here is this aspect. The seal of crystalline, a crystal seal, is on the outside of the firmament. So this is like, yeah, many layers, and I find it quite interesting that the crystalline layer, or the sealing of Christ, happens to be represented by a circle with a cross, which in alchemy actually often represents Earth, I believe. So, quite interesting. This is 1551. So you're talking about the different, I guess, latitude points. Or, what is this? Yeah. These are the latitudes. Horizon, I guess, has its own. Maybe it's the line of the horizon, the meridian, the zodiac. I'm not sure what these are. Interesting little maze we got here. Okay, so this goes on to explain here in September 23rd. In September 23rd, of course, this is equinox. You see, equinox. The September 23rd equinox. Yeah. Radius, I don't know. Capricorn Circulus. Okay, so that's a tropic of Capricorn, tropic of Cancer. The Arctic Circle has its own. And Antarctica. Okay. This is a pretty cool little dude over here. Now, at first I thought he was a spear-holding, club-wielding caveman or something, but upon further pages in the book, I came across a guy holding a stick with a sword coming out from behind of his back. And this guy later in the book is represented as a surveyor, or what would be a surveyor now. He's the guy that's going out and he's using this tripod thing or this rod thing here with some other tools like this sundial here to basically map out the land, somehow using, I can't help but think somehow they are using this instrumentation to discover the geography of Earth, maybe? I don't know. It's kind of the feeling I got, like, what are they doing here? Are they saying that they're able to stand at a point on the globe, use one of these dials here to measure the stars, right? And by doing that, they're able to tell the altitude of the land, maybe? It's a quite puzzling thing because it borders on the line of mysticism, but it's all written in like this language is not the language, but the way that it is written, you can tell these are all complex words kind of put together, and it's a scientific thing. I mean, this is a book like for education. This is not a fantasy novel. If it is, it's a pretty in-depth one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4, I don't know. This has got to be. Okay, they're saying these formations, right, of surveyors can plot out maybe by setting up different angles to capture measurements from. They're able to come up with a certain measurement from each one of these methods. I don't know. Just speculating, I guess. More though, on the question is for whoever's watching. I'm sure there's a collective horde of people out there that, you know, might actually have some other interesting thoughts on this, and I would love to hear them. This I found peculiar. You've got these are the so these would represent climate, obviously climate. So they're saying that the climate in this region generally is about the same, right? This would be an area where its climate stays in this band from where the sun hits it. The thing that seemed kind of weird was I don't know why they would make a mistake, yet this number 6 climate up here seems much larger in proportion. I don't know if the amount of water to land ratio in the slice of this radius makes any difference with climate. I'm sure it does. Obviously, there's probably more water here than here. But I did find it a little odd that it would subsequently get smaller, you know, as the circumference gets smaller. It shortens the period of, you know, that size, so it gets a smaller value. Well, here the 6 is much larger. It's like 3 times larger than the 5. And then you got these tiny ones after it with a big old chunk here. Like this one just doesn't change. So I don't know, maybe it has to do with the water. I'm sure that's some possibility to do with that too. Now this, okay. Well, I don't know, maybe they had it separated into different regions, but these I guess are the quadrant things that they were talking about at the beginning part of this. Yeah, that's probably what that is. Okay, so here we have all the maths, the arithmetic. Yeah, so these are latitude lines. These are measurements of exact locations, and it depicts the climates and everything else. But what I found interesting, it gives the degrees for each section of the climates here, okay? And then you go along, and what it actually does is it outlines the exact longitude and latitude of cities in Europe, Asia, Africa, America, South America. This says Orient here, right? On this side, right? It doesn't say what's up or what's down here. But this is Occident. Orient and Occident. I wonder if that's like when it's like the spin. Is this telling us the spin, the Occident and Orient? I don't know. But it gets very descriptive in here, and it goes into details of even laying out each and every. Now this part was really super cool because this is like a thing that you can spin. It's a this is like a tool you can use so that you can have an easier time at the maths for what you're seeing. But yeah, these are all astronomical tools there. Yeah, so there's a whole explanation on how to use this tool here. I would love it if I could get a little crafty this week and try and recreate this. I guess I'll print it out and then try to clean it up and do it affinity version or something. Do a vector of that so that anybody can make it whatever size they want. Again, here we have a bunch of stuff that I'm not gonna really waste too much time in that. And again, I want to get to some of these little cool pictures because we can make out the pictures pretty easy. The verbiage, I might be misinterpreting something very easily. It's easy to do. But I've studied a lot of different languages, so I think I'm pretty good on some of these basic Latin root words we have, you know. How is it that almost every language has words that have some Latin roots? Is it just because the words came after, so they were introduced after, so they have a Latin root because they didn't exist there? Or are they just making this stuff up? Of this language. Oh, a little bit of string accessories on this one. It's amazing that that has stayed intact, and somebody wrote that on a little slip of like hardstock paper probably, and then they pinned it into this book, and it's been in this collection there. And I'm just surprised that that didn't come popping off, you know? I mean, if it's a fantasy novel, I'd imagine the folks getting the fantasy novel would be, you know, children. Or, you know, maybe excitable adults, but man, wouldn't you want to use that thing? I would think it wouldn't take very many turns before it'd pop off the page. They look kind of dinky. This one also shows a weight here. So this might be an apparatus that you would attach to something to be held into your hand, and then that would be the level of your pan, say, and then you would line it to sight with what you're trying to do, and you know, pull on. This one has two, it appears, and I don't know if these are one body or two bodies. If anybody can tell, I don't know. I'm almost thinking it's two separate moving parts. Probably is. You might see on the next page here somewhere. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, this has like two. And this is much more than two. Yeah. Okay, so these are two individual pieces that slide. I guess you use the string to pull them along. Rather, maybe that keeps them in shape. Yeah, there's a bunch of these. This also I found interesting because he's predicting eclipses and the actual minute, down to the minute. This dude is predicting the day, the hour, and the minute, and the year, and exactly how everything is going to look. I would be curious to see. I should probably look up a couple of those dates and check the accuracy, maybe the location where he was at. I suppose would have to be a factor. It's another thing that interests me. You ever notice if you look up online the eclipses and the history of eclipses? And sometimes you'll see like a big wide line that stretches across like a whole state. And that was the eclipse for that year. But then other times there's just like a tiny little line that shoots across the whole continent, like a pencil stroke versus a brush stroke of the shadow of the eclipse. Always kind of puzzled me a little bit. Here we go, is an explanation how to use these gadgets. You know, got a couple of these guys here. Funny thing too is these things look kind of like crosses. I know they're like this is a piece within a piece, but I thought it was kind of funny that they put just the cross here, you know, for this guy. Maybe he's missing his other angle. But yeah, 30 to 30 to 30. 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 9. Right on time. All right. Yeah. So I'm trying to hurry along here a little bit but there is just a bunch of stuff in this. Ad Annum Christi. Okay, and in the year of Christ in 1525, this was completed. So this was completed in 1525. What? 25 years to publish this book? No. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it took it's been out, it completed it 25 years ago, I guess, if it was published in 1551. Anno. Okay, moving along. All right, here's the guy. This I thought was interesting too. They use a form of measurements for digitus, and then I guess your 3, and then your palms. Digitus is 2 palms. I thought this was how you measured bags, like of things. I don't know. Like, let me get 2 fingers, but they don't have 2 fingers here. That's maybe an inside joke. But I thought this with gratis, right? Radius. Passus simplex. So these are all like, these people in this drawing are representing something else. You know, this lady, she's she's got the little handbag. This guy's got his hand on his sword. This is the dude he's the one that's going out there and using his fingers and his hands to write down all these measurements. Right? Interesting. Looks like there's a giant river that runs through all the way the middle of Africa, almost to the bottom, and splits into 4 rivers there, if I'm reading that right. Yeah, it's Asia Minor, or Major, I guess, maybe. Yeah. German, Italian, Miliaria, maybe military. Circumverentia, terra. That's the whole circle of the terra. It's the bars. You see them? The 2 bars right here. Bar. 1718. 687. What? Yeah, and it's got like fractions over here or something. 21,600. 5,400. These are, I'm assuming, maybe a calculation of area, maybe? No, not area. That's Germanica. 5,400. Tower. 21,600. I don't know. It's a count of something. Maybe the dimensions or the distance, or something completely different. Diameter of the, okay, so that's the, yeah, that's like that's the diameter of the that's the mass of the area of land, maybe. Miliaria, Germania, Communia, Outsi, 360. Yeah, Fractus. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And as it goes on, what you find is that, let me get this thing back centered here. We get here, they got the longitude, latitude lines, right? This is like a breakdown. I don't know. Yeah, these are I'm gonna guess that these are GPS coordinates. These are all this is where Microsoft and Google and all those places, this is where they got all of their data to create the GPS systems we know and love today. Oh yeah. Yeah, these are like almost like declinations of the like planets or whatever, like the different movements. It's almost like, I wonder if they're taking measurements to see if the land mass changes. They'd have to be able to compare. However, though, I guess human error, it can never outrun the possibilities of making the mistake. But without mistakes, we wouldn't have any great takes, would we? So this going on to discuss here. It doesn't appear that this one is too much different from the other one. I think it's probably the same picture. Ah, sorry. Keep jerking it around the screen. My bad. And that's again the same picture that was on the front of the book. This one has a little bit extra. Okay, the Orient, the Midi, and the Occident. What is this Midi? Got some old dudes, bearded up, robed on, ready to rock and roll. Look at these dudes. Check them. Woo! Check them out. They're like, hey, Phil, you're never gonna believe it. We're right side up over here. You're upside down. Yeah, this is really cool stuff. I really get a kick out of checking out a lot of these older books. This is the device that was in the depiction earlier. It's a little bit closer up view of how it's going to work. Midi. Is Midi north? Is Midi north? Because this almost looks like a compass, although it could just be a dial that you can assign a certain position or something. I assume this is some kind of convex glass or something. Or mirror, piece of metal, polished metal, you know? A little dimple. I don't know. I'd say it has several different angles of measurement with that thing. Even like level, I think, would make a difference. Yeah. Here's another interesting one. No, well now here they say Nort. So that's the Nort. And then this would be Oest. Would you like to go Oest? Yes. And this is Southwest. Est. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Alright, moving right along. This is the cross, then we got the M, then we got the O, and then we got a spear. So does this spear represent something? Very interesting. It's almost like this is like, I don't know. Kind of reminiscent of this northeast, west and south. It's the news. Gonna tell you what's going around town. Look, I found Candy Island. Isle de Candy. Oh, the Crete. Wait, Candy Crete? I don't know if I want Count Creek candy. Attica. Alright. This is the continent of terra firma. Like, yeah, it's firm there. Real firm. Here. It's an island. I guess. I don't know. This is connected here. Corinth to, oh, okay, here's Athens. Now I'm seeing the picture. What is this, and why does it say Mori? Pretty cool. I'm still in Lammer. Earlier, when I found the Amer Ocean, there was this shape in front of it that was kind of cut off, like right about here. And I thought it was like an I, a mer ocean, but maybe it's La Mer ocean that was there. Like right here, you see? La Mer Mediterranean. La Mer Mediterranean. Hmm. Ah, maybe this is how you convert it to your mapping. You draw out your grid, and then you take your measurements and you use some string, you know? Or hair. Could be some hairs there, you know? Cross hairs. Suppose hair had many uses back then. I don't know. Yeah, so a lot of this is just the same thing. It's just a bunch of statistics or census records. There's another book with some like really outlined 23 million inhabitants of Hong Kong. And that one I think was like at the beginning of the 1500s, end of the 1400s. But what are these? Are these... Can you punch just those numbers in and pull up these cities? Emporium. I mean, they're just... There's... Hold on. There's even a... I'm pretty sure I saw Babylon on here before, too. Nantes. There's also, I believe, Tartarian one here. Yeah, I'm pretty positive one of these, it talks about Tartari. I don't know if I already skipped it. It's up here in this corner, over in this area here. At the top right, Norwegian region, somewhere around there. We'll continue and see how it goes. Yeah, feel free to slow it down if you want to write down some of these numbers or whatever. Or just go to the link in the description, I guess, and be able to see. There's Delphi. Apollonia. Necropolis. Galapagos. Roma. Olum terrarum caput. Yeah, so this thing just goes on and on. It's got a bunch of these. That's not the one. I'm telling you, there is one that says it like separates Tartarian from oh, maybe I already skipped it. I don't know. Oof. I don't know how you guys do this, man. Maybe it's my chair, but my back is... I applaud all of the YouTubers that do these long, descriptive sit-downs. And Bibla, Thelma, Zama, Babyloni. Yeah, I think Babylon was in here as well. I don't know. I kind of my vision's a little different, so. Oh, here we go. Haha. Now, this is the part that I thought was really trippy, you know, is they make a direct connection, direct connection here to Scythians, the Scythians, Modo Tartari. Look at that, one Aspaboda, 102, 1044, Dao Abba, 10445. I'd be curious if anybody, you guys there, you are the, you know, map, Google Map or Google Earth experts like John Levy and people like this. Yes, maybe we could take a look at that. I don't know. I'll try, but I'm learning so many different things right now. I'm kind of feel like information overload. I'm trying to learn how to use this software to record, then trying to use the software to put it together and posting together. And yeah, I'm also teaching myself some analytics, Microsoft stuff, and I'm in the process of learning how to use this affinity program I just got. And yeah, many things I'm trying to catch. I feel like I'm playing catch up, you know? But I've been reading books like these in the library. I used to skip school in high school to go to the library and read old books. I know that sounds odd. Maybe it is, but that is what I liked to do. My favorite writer from high school would be Descartes. Rene Descartes, mathematician. This dude made math into a emotional, like made math an emotional, spiritual kind of thing, man, with the nature. A great story about a fish in a pond. I'm going to put together a video on that. Also, I'm working on the Affinity software now so that I can make the little characters, and it's probably going to be like filmed as a live action kind of, well, not live action, but you know, a printed paper puppet show type of thing or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out the best way to tell it, but it's the most awesome story you'll ever hear. It's the most awesome story you'll ever hear. Yeah, makes you think. But this was the book, Rene Descartes, where I found this fish story. And yeah, I've changed the story a few times and made it different a little bit here and there, but I like to tell it a lot. Yeah, so these are all just, man, it's like they had everything plotted out at this time already to the, like, it's basically, by putting out this book with all these longitude and latitudes, it's almost like saying to everybody else, like the peoples who wrote this book, we, you know, took down and observed land in all of these areas like a net. We spread everywhere, and you know, we know the numbers for everything, you know, this kind of thing. This again, Occidens Oriens. This is a cool looking little gizmo here. Look at that. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, these are cool little dials, man. I'm gonna have to print some of these out and like recreate them, you know. Okay. So, yeah, I think this is pretty much the end of the book, if I remember correctly. I don't know how long I've been recording here. Oh, 46 minutes. Yeah, that's about, oops. That's about enough. 46 minutes. Okay, Yeah, this is super long. Ah, this I thought was really awesome. Kind of give you, if you're trying to explain to somebody the globe model of the Sorry, I get intrigued. I get kind of locked into this stuff. I'm trying to get it, trying to get through it to get it out there with less than an hour. But I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if you can do like 80 pages of a book and mild commentary and the fashion. The book doesn't. I can't even read the book. Get little chunks and pieces. I wish I could understand it more, but my mind tells me one thing, and I trust my mind for the moment until something else comes along and tells me something different, and then I say, okay, well, I trust my mind then too, because it's about trusting your mind in the moments. You know, everything changes. Always. You gotta flow with change. Brussels, maybe? What's up? The Burgess? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Exempio. Yeah, there's a lot more pages. So basically, I took the long way around to get to the... Well, the elves were the exciting part, and really that was just one page. But it brought us into all of this, which is some awesome stuff. And it goes on to basically give detailed diagrams and explanations on how to use these numbers and measurements and what you see. And to me, this is like a building. I look at this and I think, man, this is a building that they're making somehow, and they want it to be this high. So they're using these calculations and stuff. But then I'm going, but wait a minute, we're talking about the stars. Wait, but why are we doing longitude and latitude lines? Why are we talking about longitude and latitude lines of places on Earth? And smack dab all in the middle of all of that is all of this zodiacal stuff. See? Now here's the exact same diagram, but this is in the sky or the stars, maybe? I don't know. Or this is just the inch and feet measurements, or linear measurements of to figure those numbers that you're trying to find out earlier here. September, or the equator is also September. Septum. Think of it like your nostril is like your septum in between the two circles. So that sept, you know, separate. It's the halfway point, right? Yeah, all the words are the keys to everything. When I started studying words and everything, I get a little bit sometimes lost in the words, and I kind of come up with connections of them that I know probably aren't intentional, but are odd or interesting. It's kind of interesting how we don't think about it that way, but really, even in the language, it's just a combination of tones and pitches and you know, the reverberation of your voice and everything is literally, you communicate with sound, with vibration, with vibes. Like, you're feeling my vibes right now. You know, it's trippy. February 1534. Huh. yeah, it just goes on to do this some more. We'll kind of just, I'm just gonna kind of skip through this part because if you want to check it out, check out the book. The description's in there. I'm trying to make this a little bit shorter than the last one. It's not working. Yeah, so what is he doing? Is he looking directly at the sun? What is wrong with this dude? These guys over here are talking to each other. Look at this. Look at the crazy old man down here. He's staring at the sun with this doohickey. Haha. They're laughing at him. And he's like, hey, hey, we'll have the last laugh. Here's another one. Now, keep in mind, this book has been continuously switching back and forth from land to space, to land to space, and it intermingles it all as if it's one thing. It's just quite interesting. I don't know if he's using this as a measuring tool for the building, or if he knows the height of the building and he's using it as a measuring tool for the stars. I can't really say because I don't want to sit here and make this video 3 hours long while I try to decipher this language here. But to me, it's kind of obvious that they're not talking about the stars here. They're just talking about this building, man. They're like, yo, check out this castle. We can totally figure out what's going on. But I want to make one of these little things, and I think that's the basically that's the kind of like the key. You can use that, and then that little dial, paper dial that comes in the book, and you take your instrument, this instrument, which is a sextant, I'm assuming, and yeah, you can make buildings with it. Maybe that's how they made the buildings so well. They used a sextant the whole time, and they had, you know, just like here, they had 15 guys working on a crew. You had, this was watcher number 1, then watcher number 2, watcher number 3, and watcher number 4, and 1 worker. This guy's over here working, and then these guys are watching. Look at the birds, though. I found this also interesting. Have any of you guys seen the videos with the birds like flying around the these Thai temples, or you know, other places in Malaysia, I think as well, has a Buddhist temple that has one of these. The birds circling around, and you got a little antiquitech stuff here. Very interesting. It's like there's dirt up to here, but they're clearly showing that these guys are standing down here somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're real far away is what it is. I'm just wondering what's this. Okay, maybe that's a measurement you're going to make from the tower to the base, some baseline. I don't know. Or just really crappy drawing. Now, there's another book here in this same search results that I got that talks about the actual numbers of people. I mean, to the detail, like it's got millions. It's got the millions lined up in there. But yeah, that was this book. It's Cosmographia Petri Appiani per hmmm Radium. Additus Eustem argumenti libelis ipsius gemma frisi. Are these, is this, I don't know, is it talking about the, I don't know, we'll have to find out. Anyway, there'll be more to come on some of the radium stuff. I'm doing the Radium is a magic wand of science will be my next one, because I discovered something in the radium fertilizer pamphlet. Basically, I discovered this doctor, this scientist, you know, his name is Gage. But I thought it was funny because I thought almost his name is Gage, something like this. But I thought it was funny because I was thinking Geiger counter, and this guy's doing studies on radium, so I thought maybe that's the name of that thing that they check for the radiation. But different spelling, completely different dude. Just a coincidence, I guess, or synchronicity. But this guy has detailed pictures and everything showing how much radium. And the guy's a professor, and he went to all of the Ivy schools, you know. And when I think of Ivy, when I say the word Ivy, what's the first thing that comes to your mind right now? Put it in the comments. Was it poison? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Poison ivy. It's an Ivy League. Anywho, I'm gonna do a video on the magic wand of science, radium, and then I will get back to the fertilizer one, because the fertilizer one is really the juice one, because the fertilizer is the thing that I'm kind of wondering. They were putting this radiated stuff as fertilizer all over the place. Radium was in everything at the time, I guess. So it's no wonder, and it just lasts forever. Hey, I wonder, did potatoes always produce electricity? Like, you could always stick a piece of metal in a potato and it would create a voltage, and you can run a clock on it? Or was it after they started dumping radium on all of the potatoes? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. That was it. That was the book. Very interesting, huh?